Take a look at this long rejection tail. So very strong supply tail from yesterday's session, and we see that the market attempt to break out of the previous all-time high level and subsequently followed by a strong supply come in, spike of the supply, and push the price all the way down. So this is not looking that good. So I wonder, is this the beginning of the market sell-off or simply just profit taking? So just pay attention to the market outlook section where I will elaborate in detail and share my take on this. Hi, my name is Ming Zhong and welcome to another episode of the daily market analysis for the S&P 500 E-mini futures for the session of 10th of November. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the market recap from yesterday's session and also a trade review in a 3 minutes time frame, which I will cover the entry, the exits, and also the rationale behind. And going forward, I will share my trading plan for the session later together with the levels that I'm watching. So do watch out for that. Let's just get started. So as we can see in this daily chart for the S&P 500, so yesterday's session was very wow. So very volatile session, and we see a very strong supply come in, and that's why we see the rejection tail with a spike of the volume level. And if we just take a look at the hourly chart, let's see if we can get a lot more detail from yesterday market action. So we can see that from yesterday session, so prior to the US opening, we have seen spike of the volume that's reacting the vaccine news from Pfizer. So we see the spike of the volume together with this kind of the strong bullish bar and just break out straight away at the all-time high level at around 35.90 or 35.87. So you can see we haven't had this kind of the wow session for quite some time. And eventually we see the momentum is losing a bit. So the momentum to the upside is out of steam and followed by the market sell-off. So you can see during the market open, the US market open here at about 10:30 at my time zone, we see a very impulsive bearish bar and taking the price down and eventually get supported at the previous all-time high level. Previously was a resistance, and once it's breakout, now become a support level right here. So you can see there are quite a few tests at this level, but eventually the last hour bar just break this down, and with the spike of the supply level as well. So it's worth to note that the first 2-3 hours comes with an increasing of the supply level if we compare it to the past few trading session. So definitely that is a lot of the supply come in. And not only that, if we take a look at the Nasdaq, I think that is further confirmed that we have a bearish session in Nasdaq here. So overall we have a update for Russell, update for the Dow, slightly update for the E-mini S&P 500, but definitely a bearish day for the Nasdaq 100. So what does it really mean? So I will just explain more in detail in the later part of the video during the current market outlook section. So before I do that, let me get down to the 3 minutes time frame and let me just walk you through one trade that's happened during the US session, and that is the only trade that I had from yesterday. So you can see that just prior to the US opening, so the US open right here at around 10:30 p.m. at my time zone. Prior to that, definitely we see the spike of the volume that's reacting the vaccine news, and we see the impulsive up move, and then followed by continuation of the momentum, but eventually it just ran out of steam and we see the sell-off kick in with the profit taking action. So prior to that, there is a rally followed by a consolidation during the Asian European session. So mainly is a very tight moon tight session in the European London session, and the news actually happened somewhere around 7:30 p.m. at my time zone, and that literally changed everything. So it just becomes super bullish with the spike of the momentum together with the demand come in to push the price up to all-time high. But you can see that I kind of mark up my trade. So what's the rationale behind the trade? So I actually short the market. So right after the climatic up move, followed by continuation to the upside, but we see that the momentum is getting exhausted, and eventually during the market open in the US session, we see this kind of the sell-off. So that's right here. So eventually I just identified this move down. So if I just, maybe I will just adjust the chart a little bit so that you can see the volume clearly. So the volume here plays a big role. So you can see that overall for this downswing here, that comes with a lot of the supply, and average supply is definitely more than 20k. So in a 3 minutes time frame, that's huge, and that is really significant. So this down move actually comes with an increasing of the supply, and just take a look, that's around 3655 and all the way to close to 3600. So it's about 50 points just from this down move. So extremely volatile, and the down move comes with the increasing of the supply, and then followed by these two interesting bars. So this two bars is very interesting, and it comes with a spike of the demand. So that is the Wyckoff's law, the effort versus results. So just take a look at these two bars alone. So let me zoom in so that you can get this clearly. So you can see that this two bullish bar comes with a spike of the demand. So more than 30k. So it's a lot higher than everything that we have experienced before. And where does the price take us to? So it just takes us to maybe this swing high here, and barely commit above, almost just touch it and then reject straight away. And if we just pretty much compare these two bars alone, then we can see that there is a effort versus results, because with a similar type of the volume, but obviously the second bar do not have any upside progress. So it simply means that there's supply's presence in the second bar, and that actually comes with a reaction that confirms that. And because of the spike of the demand and with the momentum, I will just wait for another test of the rally. So here comes the test. So there's another test of the previous upswing, but take a look at these few bars here. So it comes with decreasing of the demand and eventually followed by this reversal bar, and that's how I actually short it. So this downswing actually just confirmed the weakness of the market. So this is a sign of weakness, and followed by this up move that suggested there's an effort versus results. So there's presence of the supply, and everything just points towards a short entry. So I just wait for another test which comes in here, and then followed by this confirmation bar, and to short it, because my intent is to actually just write it down to somewhere around here to about 3590 or 3587. That's the previous all-time high level. Initially was the resistance and now become the support level. So I just managed to exit the trade. I think it's at this hammer bar here. So overall, I get a reward to risk ratio of about 1.7, so not too bad, and it's a relatively short duration of the trade. And I think the timing is great, because right after I short the trade, I only wait for 1, 2, 3, and the fourth bar just initiate a breakout of this localized support area. So overall, this is a profitable trade. I'm satisfied with it. Okay, so that's the trade review, and let's take a look at the hourly chart, and let's talk about the current market condition. So maybe I will just go back to the daily chart. Okay, so I think yesterday was a very interesting session because this sort of the breakout comes with an immediate failure here. So you can say that's definitely a false breakout. And could this be a start of the distribution? So we have a buying climax here with a test, and with another test, another test. So a lot of the effort to push the price up, but eventually we not able to commit above the immediate resistance level at this 35.90, close there. And we have this rejection bar, and look at this bars, the spread of this bar. So this type of the spread is comparable to this bar here, and I think it probably is even greater than this bar. It's probably less than this, but certainly we see the spike of the volume. So a lot of the volume inside the volume containing the volume is the supply level. But if we just take this volume level as a holistic view from the trading range, maybe just focus this trading range alone, we see that the supply has been decreasing with localized increasing of the supply level. So eventually we see some maybe this and this bar, the spike of the volume. So overall, based on the volume signature of the yesterday bar, I suspect that there could be just a profit taking and possible sector rotation. Because if we just go back to take a look at the Nasdaq, we see that Nasdaq had a sell-off yesterday. So Nasdaq sell-off, while we have a update for the rest of the indices. So the Dow is up, Russell is up, S&P is also up, but the Nasdaq also had a bearish day. So there's a possibility that some profit taking and possible rotation from the Nasdaq into maybe other indices. So that's one of the possibility. And if we go back to the S&P 500, so just by judging at the supply level or the volume alone, so at least that I think that we haven't seen this kind of the spike of the supply as high as this or even this. So probably that could be just profit taking activities with a possible of the rotation. So let's just take a look at the scenario. So if this is a bullish case, then this could be just a prompt of a breakout. So might not necessarily be upthrust and then failure and then go back down all the way. So if this is a true bearish case, then what I would like to see is definitely some kind of the follow through to the downside rather than just a consolidation somewhere around here. So that's the bullish case, and then we probably can see eventually we'll just break out here. But if this is a bearish case, then definitely I would like to see some kind of the follow through to the downside, and at least to break below this candle here. So that will be somewhere around 34.50. So if you can just commit below 34.50, then we probably could see a downswing going down to test the support again. So overall, probably it will still within this trading range. But for the bullish case, that could be just a prompt to test the supply level and whether you can just have this kind of the shallow type of the consolidation before it break out. So we'll just let the market to show its true action to tell us. Okay, so let me get down to the hourly time frame and let's talk about the current session. So overall, for the session later, my trading plan is actually to look out for either way. So we see that there is a capitulation bar in the last hour bar from yesterday. So that is definitely a resistance zone, 3590. So if you can just rally up, test this resistance zone with a rejection bar, then that could probably become a good short entry. So 3590, and if there is a continuation to the upside, maybe you can trade a pullback. Otherwise, so far the immediate resistance right now is pretty much at this level, 3560. So that is the immediate resistance level. We see quite a few rejection tail here. So if it just turn down from here, then that could become another short. Otherwise, for the immediate support level, then definitely this is a non-RTH low, the Globex period low, and also I think this little range could provide some support from 3460 to 3500. So 3500 could be a critical level to watch, and pretty much this area will provide some support. This is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. So if you'd like to learn more on how to increase your winning rate and generate more profit, definitely check out the video that show on the screen right now, and do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also just join my email list so that you get my personal watch list for the stocks for swing trading or position trading. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon.